Does everybody see the beautiful woman sitting there with the snakeskin shirt on? The snakeskin I Am Redemption, not paying attention? Right there. Everybody, please give that woman a round of applause. She puts up with my shit every single day. For every single time she walks into the room and is trying to tell me something, but I'm sitting there messing with Instagram and she doesn't kill me for it. For everything you put up with, baby, I love you. Think people in our world, the people in recovery and all that, we understand that there's bigger things out here than us. And so she gave me my why, and so I'm so proud right now. Oh, you're gonna get me worse. To bring Kayleigh up. Now, for those that don't know, I shout it from the rooftops. Kayleigh is the first woman ever to finish the New York City Marathon with Down syndrome. If you want some motivation, follow Kayleigh, and you'll see that every day she is in the gym at 4 a.m. She's in there playing basketball. She's in there doing leg presses. She's in there swimming. She's deadlifting in the garage. So for every single person in here that's been making excuses about the gym, I don't want to hear that shit anymore, right? So Kayleigh, I want to ask you one very important question. Okay. How does it feel to you to know that just you going out and running has inspired so many people? Has inspired so many people to run?
I love to run because I was inspired with other people, and then that was running makes me feel happy and health.
Let's go. Now you got something really, really big coming up where you're gonna go swim, right? What are you getting ready to go do?
I doing swimming.
For where?
For the state. I go to Minnesota.
And then you're getting ready to go to the Olympics, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Everybody, please let's give it up for Kayleigh. Anybody that knows me knows I love rap music. I'm a very harsh critic of rap music, and I'm about to bring up one of the most musically talented individuals I've personally ever met. So without further ado, one of my best friends in the world, Mr. I Am Cricchi.
Man, dude, it's hard to perform after that, dude. Yeah, I was getting a little emotional over there too. Dude, I just want to say, I'll start off by saying, I swear I'm not going to cry. Maybe I will, but if I do, it's okay. Man, dude, I'm proud of you, bro, right? Like, this is fucking amazing. You got all these people here. That's crazy, dude. So many different walks of life. And then you have a group chat, and it's like, when I make music, right, my aim is to help people, is to make you feel like you're not alone, right? And you've called me crying listening to my music, telling me I made you feel that way, and I just want to let you know that in return, you do that for me, right? So thank you. We got kind of a fun set tonight. I kind of figured this would be like more tonight. Today. I've never performed with this vibe, and I like it. And, you know, thank y'all so much, man. This has been a great time. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I'm grateful to be here, man, and, you know, can't wait to see y'all. Thank you so much, man.
Please give it up one more time for Cricchi. I told you he was good. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sober Girls group chat. Now, I was blessed early on in my journey into this stuff, just as I was starting the podcast. Me and my good friend Rachel Elizabeth, right here, we met on some unusual circumstances. We had lost somebody that was in the recovery community for a while, and decided to dip out and didn't make it, and so we met on that. So it was like a weird vibe to obviously meet on. But then somebody told me that she was on she was on social media, and this was the world that I was just starting to dip my toe in. So she has been an inspiration to me. She has let me know that I'm not crazy. She has pointed me in the right direction. And most of all, she has taught me that I don't need to take myself so serious. And it's all right to laugh at yourself. It's way easier if you make fun of yourself. No one's going to say anything. So, Rachel, first question. Is the mic on? Podcaster extraordinaire.
Does that work? Hello? Is it on? Okay.
Is it going? Try again.
Amen.
All right.
Sorry.
So, if you would tell me, how did this happen?
Dude, God, our God is an awesome God. He reigns.
Hold on. I forgot something very important. There's somebody up on this stage that has a monumental occasion that just happened recently. Somebody? I believe it's somebody sitting very close to me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are going to congratulate Miss Gabby up here on 1 year sober. My brother's a smoker. Thomas, where's your lighter?
We're going to sing.
Oh,
We're
wait,
gonna
I don't.
sing
Are we allowed
Happy
to do that?
Birthday.
There might be fire code or something.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we just pretend, okay? Okay. Happy birthday
to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gabby. Happy birthday to you.
Yay.
Congrats, girl.
Thank you.
So, real quick. This is one of the coolest collective of women. They're all from different worlds. They all have recovery in common, but they're all different personalities. They're all very big personalities from what I know, but they're all amazing. They inspire so many fucking people between everybody up on this panel. I put it up against anybody. So please, Rachel, if you would, how did this happen?
Okay, so who met first? The Brits met first. They've known each other for a few. It all happened through social media. The beauty of social media, right? They met first, and then Amanda, and then you, then Abby.
Brett met, she introduced me to Amanda. We went to a Taylor Swift concert and we FaceTimed Britt, and that's when I met Britt. We were already at Amanda's house, so I only met her briefly. So, not to give details, but basically what happened is, so a few of us then got together. Was that 2023? We went to California to do like a fun little Celsius event that Britt and I had been invited to. And we knew of Rachel from social media. Gabby and I, fun fact, did a collab back in 2020. Lots of little things, but eventually one thing led to the next, and we all kind of got together, and we went to New York City last October, and that was the first time we all kind of got together in person. And we've added some, like, celebrating Gabby and 1 year sobriety, and all Rachel did to help her with that journey in such a way that I think it was so, just naturally. I'll let you tell that, story, because I love that. But she's so important to this group, right? Like, there's so much we all have, different amounts of sobriety time and help each other with different things. But it's so humbling, and it's such a good reminder of what it takes. And that first year was so hard. So I just want to reiterate how proud we are of Gabby. But
Let's go.
slowly but surely, man, social media does crazy things. I mean, you guys know
It
it.
does.
But tell real quick, if it's okay, how this went.
I thought if I only gave him one mic, I was going to be able to control who talked.
No. We were wondering how it was going to work. Yeah, no, we're yappers. Yeah, for sure. So I have known Rachel from social media for a little bit, and she invited me out on Against All Odds, which is her podcast that she does with Oak Forest. And I was like, you want me on, this is a recovery podcast? I'm not sober. I don't know why you want me on this podcast. And she was like, oh no, we want to hear about your story, because I was a teen mom. And so she invites me out, and she asks, do you want to come to our meeting? This is the day before I'm filming. And I end up going on this podcast because I'm like, okay, they're going to ask me about my story. So I go out there. She's like, oh, we're going to go to a meeting tonight. Do you want to come? I thought it was relating to the podcast. No, it's an AA meeting. So I'm at this AA meeting, like, why am I here? Like, what's going on? And so this lady's speaking, and for the first time in my entire life, like, I heard her and I resonated with her. And I also, like, I've been to jail 2 times. I've struggled with substances. I do have a problem. And so this was the first time that I was able to be honest with myself and be like, I have a problem. And from that day, a year ago, when I first went on that podcast, I got sober at that meeting that Rachel brought me to. And so that's how I ended up getting wrapped up with all these crazy people. But yeah, they added me in and they adopted me. And I've been a menace to them since. And but I mean, no, that I'm so happy that I'm here today, and I'm so happy that I am a year sober because I am a completely different person from the first day that I met Rachel.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now we'll keep it with Gabby. We're gonna go right down the line right now. Firing squad. So, what do you think? Obviously, we're talking recovery and stuff like that, and I know it's kind of tough to dive right into that. But like, if you could paint a picture for everybody, because all they see is this amazing person sitting up here, beautiful, 1 year sober, vibrant, all that. What did it look for you like in your darkest day?
I guess for me, I don't know. So for me, I was a functioning alcoholic, I feel like, and I could drink, and I was either like the best time ever when I drank, or I was like your worst nightmare, and I was trying to fight everybody, like assaulting police officers, assaulting waitresses, like just like being an absolute wreck. And my wake-up call wasn't the first time I went to jail. It was the second time I went to jail. And just like coming to and like you're in jail, like that's the worst for me, I guess, because like I have kids, my kids are getting older, they're realizing that I'm making these terrible decisions, and that was kind of like my wake-up call. But it really didn't hit me until, I was in denial for so long that I even had a problem. So my darkest days were just like that denial of like, no, this is under control, I could quit whenever I want to, like I'm experimenting with anything and everything that I can get my hands on, So, and this was like almost a decade of my life that I lived like this. And I'm only 25. So, yeah, and I have 4 kids. Like, my life is literally, like, insane. But, yeah, but my darkest days definitely are just, like, the denial that I lived in for so long. Just, like, making every excuse that I could for myself. Like, oh, I only acted like that because so-and-so made me mad, or so-and-so said something to me. So for me, it's like now I'm living in my truth, and I'm able to face, like, dude, I was sick for a really long time, and, like, now I'm finally, like, becoming who I am today at 25. So, yeah.
Obviously, like we just talked a little bit about your addiction, but it sounds like you've been through a whole lot of other things. What would you say has been the toughest thing you've ever had to overcome, and how did you do it?
I had my son when I was 13 years old, and that definitely is still something that I feel like I'm overcoming to this day. Obviously, that changed the trajectory, like the whole entire trajectory of like my entire life, and I became a mom at 13, so I didn't have like those teenage years. I've been in survival mode like since I was a kid. So for me, I mean, I still have like so many regrets. Like my son has seen me like at my darkest points, and like I feel like I'm still trying to like overcome that and like just do right by him. So yeah, that would be it for me.
Well, I would say you're doing a hell of a job making up for it.
I'm trying.
Hell of a job. When you can inspire so many people and grow something like you have, like you're kind of dealt shit, and what you have fucking built into it, and the fact that you're helping this many people, and the fact that you hooked up with the Avengers, like you're helping a lot of people. I hope you know it. You're getting me emotional right now.
Yeah.
Proud of you, girl.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know she was on Teen Mom.
I wasn't.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
I wasn't.
Oh.
I was a Teen Mom.
Oh.
Everybody thinks I was on Teen Mom
okay.
though, because I'm friends with some of the girls who were on the show. But no, I was too young for that. That's like 16 and pregnant. I was 13 and pregnant, so I missed the cut a little bit for that. Yeah.
You literally said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
Funny. Have you had a moment? obviously your journey's still happening and everything like that, but have you had that moment of redemption where you kind of were able to take a look around, step away from the chaos, and you're like, you know what, I fucking made it, I'm here?
Yeah. I think that was like social media for me. I never thought that I would be able to like provide for my kids the way that I have, and just by sharing my story online, I've been able to like buy a house and like not have to like count every penny for groceries. Like I lived like that for so long, and I sacrificed so much time. I also was active duty military, and yeah, I went active duty when I was 17. So I've just made so many sacrifices, and I think it was like 2021 the first time I got like my first big like check. Whenever I was like, damn, I made it. Like I'm like all my bills are paid right now. Like I'm actually like doing something. I'm able to like take my kids on trips, and like this is a life that like I never thought, like as a person who had a kid at 13 years old, I never thought that I would be living this life today. So I think my I made it moment was like when I finally started seeing success from like just posting online, and it was an accident. It wasn't even something I meant to do. You are meant to do it. Yeah. I mean, I know that now, but like in the moment, it was like, dude, this is making me money. Like, what? Yeah.
Everybody here, how good does it feel to be able to pay your bills now?
Yeah.
Everybody, please give it up for Gabby.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're gonna go right next. Miss Brittany Jade, how we doing?
Hi, I'm good.
You want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself real quick?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Brittany Jade. I am a mom, a wife. I have 3 kids. My sobriety date is February 9th, 2020. So I have been sober for 5.5 years now. It's so crazy to say that. Yeah. Just I have a crazy story of how I got to sobriety, but yeah.
I think we need to hear it. Then real
Okay.
quick.
Well, I mean, I came into the room.
We got to keep it kind of quick, though.
I'll be really quick. Came into the room super young at 19, so it was like always a problem. Started drinking at 13. And then by the time I was 30, when I had 3 kids, I actually lost custody to all 3 of them due to my alcoholism, which that was definitely the hardest thing that I've ever had to go through. Unfortunately, that was not my rock bottom. I did not get sober. I was homeless. My husband filed for divorce. Crazy time. But yeah, obviously I hit my rock bottom, and I knew there was only one way that I was going to get my family back, and that is getting sober. And so I did, and I've been sober ever since, and I'm just so grateful because all of these women, I have my sponsor and my grand sponsor, and they're just so important to me, and I love each and every one of them so much, and I couldn't do this without them.
Let's go. So wait, you're her sponsor and you're her sponsor?
Amanda is my sponsor, and I'm Britt's sponsor.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much right now. What do you think in your whole journey, sobriety, 3 kids, everything like that, life, what would you think is the most valuable lesson you've learned?
Most valuable lesson. Honestly, just that recovery is not linear. I kind of thought when I got sober, it was just going to kind of keep going up, but it is not. Like, my first year of sobriety was amazing. My second year was absolute hell. I barely made it through. And so just knowing through those hard times that you don't have to pick up, you don't have to drink, and you can get through those. And the more you do, the stronger you do get. So, yeah.
Let's go. Love it. What does redemption mean to you?
Redemption to me, honestly, means just another chance at life. I think any day here is such a miracle because most of us sitting here were not supposed to be here today, and it is a miracle. So redemption to me means a new chance at life.
New chance at life.
Yes.
Love that. So I'm going to throw you a little curveball real quick. I usually ask this at the end of the show, right?
Okay.
But I just want to know for you. Hypothetically speaking, tonight, you're walking out for the Women's UFC Championship of the World.
Oh, gosh. I'm not a fighter, okay?
What is your
I'm never
What is your
about to fight.
walkout song?
Oh, my walkout song? Oh, my gosh.
Wait, what did you say when I made you cold plunge? Can somebody put on
You can have whatever you like. What's it called?
T.I.?
Yeah.
Live your life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Live Your Life by
Your
T.I.?
Life.
With
There you go.
Oh, yes. That's a good one, too.
Love it.
Or Chingy right there. That brings me back. Yeah.
Love it.
Or Pink Pony Club. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes.
I've actually picked that as mine on an episode to be funny.
Really?
Swear to God, yeah. Yep. Yep. Let's go.
You're not gonna unsee it because it is all over our online.
Is it?
There's a lot of
All right.
accidentally got stuck in an elevator singing it, and that's kind of.
We were in an employee elevator. We don't really know what we're doing.
All right. Hold on. We'll stick over here. Do you have that one moment where you feel like you made it?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like I have that moment every single day. Like because I lost my whole family, I lost everything, and when you get that all back, like it's just such an amazing feeling that I'm so grateful for every single day. So, yes, as long as I'm sober every single day, I have made it.
Outstanding. Thank you. Everybody, let's give it up for Miss Brittany J, please. Now we're heading on right over to Sarah. Sarah, where'd you come in from?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Not far. Did you drive or fly?
I flew.
You flew? Is that where you've been from the entire time?
Yep.
What did rock bottom look like in Oklahoma for you?
I was homeless. I'd been to treatment. In the end, I went to treatment 8 times. The first 7 times I left early, in and out of jail. My family wouldn't talk to me. My PO was looking for me to put me in prison because I couldn't go see him because I couldn't pee clean. I lost half my ass cheek to shooting bad dope. I mean, it was rough.
Damn.
It was rough.
Oh, you got it back?
It's back.
Oh, let's
5
go.
surgeries later, it's
No
back.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Hey, if y'all want to see something incredible, take a look at any of their Instagrams, and you'll see them all give their before and after pictures of them in addiction to now. I promise you, you guys were all beautiful on the inside, but they did not look like they do now. So the mountains y'all have overcome, wild. What do you think now in your sobriety, everything you've done, like everything you do on a daily basis, what are you most proud of in life?
So I met a guy early in recovery, which you're not supposed to do. I don't recommend it. It was hard, but we made it. We got married, and we've been married. We've been together for 10 years now, and he had this little girl who was living in a camper in the middle of nowhere with no running water and no electricity. And I knew she wasn't okay, and I kept telling my husband, we got to find her. You got to get a hold of her mom. And he tried a few times, and I think they purposely kind of avoided each other. Mom was scared we're going to try to take her. My husband was scared we're going to have to take her. And in 2020, DHS got involved, and she moved in with us a week later. It was the first time I ever met her. She was 7 years old, and she was like a little wild animal in fight or flight. And last Friday, I adopted her, and I'm officially her legal mom.
Let's go. How important has community been to you? And what does it mean to you?
I mean, it's everything. These girls, I have, girl groups at home. The women in this program, the program that I'm involved in, saved my life. Anytime they taught me how to be a mom to a 7-year-old feral little girl. They taught me how to be a wife. They taught me, my husband's the only man in my life that I've never cheated on. They taught me how to quit going to jail. Everything that I didn't, how to get up and go to work every day and be a good employee. I didn't know how to do any of that. I was a wild animal as well when I got here. So it's been everything.
A wild animal.
Yeah.
What do you think's in all that? What do you think's the most valuable lesson you learned?
Do it scared. Everything good in my life I did it scared. I went to rehab scared. I got sober scared. I went to law school scared. I became an attorney scared. I got married scared. I took in these kids. We also have a 21-year-old. I didn't know how to be a mom. I couldn't even keep my dog. I couldn't even feed my dog food, because I only had enough money to buy drugs. I couldn't buy drugs and dog food. So I'd feed them old bread and stuff. And now I get to be the primary mom in these kids' lives. And all that, I did it scared. You never know what's on the other side of fear until you do it.
100%. Last night's show, I was sitting there literally talking about that. In addiction, we always just want to be comfortable. We want our next fix. We want this. We want that. But my life truly started to change when I started going out and actually challenging myself to do things that scared me, things I didn't know that I could do. Because once I went out and did those things and I ran crazy races and I did all that stuff, that's when I was able to kind of take a look around and be like, man, if I could do this shit, everyday life is easy. And so everything, it starts, you know, much like she's talking about. She was homeless and she went to law school. Like, that's wild.
And graduated number 13 in my class.
Let's go. So if you find yourself sitting around comfortable in life, do some hard shit, right? Thank you so much. Please give it up for Sarah, everybody. My girl Amanda,
What's up?
Soft White Gang.
Yeah, here we are.
So, how would everybody, how would the mainstream public, how would they know you
So,
originally?
originally, I've been in television for a long time. I was on the Dr. Phil show 11 years ago. That's how I got sober, actually. Me and both of my sisters, who are actually here today. So I just took 11 years on September 10th. So, yeah, so it's been 11 years, and it was pure chaos because you know how we do what we do, right? And not usually everybody sees it, but millions of people saw my get down. You know, your parents don't usually watch you shoot drugs, right? And like, so it was a crazy time, but actually, all my struggles and all of that, I'm so grateful because it made me who I am today, and I'm forever grateful for that. Yes.
Go. Number one funny story that comes to your mind about you and your sisters. Go.
Oh my God. Well, so we're from Jersey, and our get down was we would go. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Camden, New Jersey, but we used to go out there to like cop, and it would snow in Jersey, and we would literally just drive out there and like get stuck in the snow and just have all the guys out there pushing our car. I couldn't turn off my car because I needed to get jumped to start it. I couldn't roll down the window. It was just pure like chaos. I just think it was just our time out there, just, you know, our get down of trying to figure out how to get drugs that day, you know, in the snow. In the snow.
So 3 white girls running around the hoods of Camden?
Yes, they called us snow bunnies. We were the snow bunnies. So,
Literal snow
yeah.
bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
Gangsters right
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit. What's the number one funny story that comes to your mind when you think about this girls group?
Oh my
Comes to your
gosh.
mind. Nobody help her. What's her most funniest story?
That comes to my mind? I mean, we're 9 girls with very different personalities, and we all film content. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, and like some of us are more bossier than others, and we just be fighting all the time when we're just like making videos and how we want it, and stand here and you stand there, and I think that's pretty much how that it goes, and it's not just one time because it happens every day, and it's gonna happen again tonight, I'm sure. So I feel like that it just always makes me laugh. I'm always laughing with Gabby behind the scenes of it all. So I would say that.
Let's say somebody goes home tonight. They knew you were on Dr. Phil. They're suffering. They go home. They go back. They watch that episode on Dr. Phil. And they're out there suffering. What would your advice to them be?
I mean, anything's possible, and just like push through. I never thought, like, who would have thought that I would write a letter to Dr. Phil and like, I would get sober. Like, I never thought that would happen to me. So I just highly suggest, just take a chance, do whatever you got to do, call whoever, and anything is possible. If I can do it, you can literally go and watch it, and you'll see the person that I was. You wouldn't even recognize me today. So yeah, and if I can do it, you can do it.
Most valuable lesson you've learned?
That I'm a fucking badass. No, and I mean that because I hated myself. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like just that self-love, that like I am worth it. I just feel like I was in full acceptance that I was a piece of shit. So I feel like just the most valuable lesson is that like I am worthy of everything and anything that I want in life, And I'm a big like person that manifests shit, and pretty much like if I want it, I'm gonna get it. I believe in that.
Last question.
Yes.
You guys are from Jersey.
Yeah.
Which
We'll beat
one
your ass.
Which
It's like, just kidding.
which one of y'all three is a medium?
A medium. Oh.
Teresa over there. Is it? Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing in Jersey, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're like South Jersey, like we're
Oh,
like
it's different.
Philly, like go Birds.
okay.
You know, like
Go
that's
Birds.
like yeah, but I mean I know what you're all thinking right now, and I know everybody in your lives. No, I'm just kidding. But
All right, everybody, let's please give it up for Amanda.
thank you.
Hello.
How we doing?
Great.
What do you think's been the coolest thing? Everybody, this is Rachel, my good friend. What do you think's the coolest thing you've gotten to do in sobriety?
Dude, like shit like this. What the fuck?
We're in the fucking powder room in Austin, Texas right now.
No way, dude.
How fun?
Yeah,
How funny is it that we're having a recovery show at a place that's themed like Miami Vice and called the Powder
Yeah,
Room?
this is cool. Shout out to the powder room.
You don't got one individual thing? Come on, you do a lot
What
of
was
cool
the question
shit.
again?
What's the coolest
I
thing
get
you've gotten to do
nervous
since
in
you're
front of
sober?
people, guys. What? Say it again.
What is the coolest thing you've gotten to do since you've gotten sober?
Yeah, but I don't really care about like. I mean, that's cool. Buying a house is cool, but yeah, buying a house is cool.
You bought a fucking house.
I did. I bought a house. That's a huge deal. That is a huge deal. I'm just not a materialistic person. I don't really, when I think of things, I'm like this kind of shit. Like getting to meet people that tell me that I'm like an inspiration or something, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I was a piece of shit for so long, in my life. And they're like, you bring me joy and you make me laugh, and I'm like, that is fucking tight. Yeah. So.
I spoke at a prison a couple weeks ago.
I saw. That's cool.
One of the inmates ended up asking me what was the thing that I was most proud of that I had done. My biggest accomplishment was his exact words, and I thought for a second, and I was like, I bought my wife a car. Right?
Tight.
Now I didn't go in and like sign for it and make payments. Like I went in and I bought my fucking wife a car.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know if there was ever a time when I'd even be able to get a car for myself, let alone buy another human being in my life. So, baby, I'm gonna upgrade you from the Kia soon. I promise.
I love Kias are cool.
What was your? I'm going back to our original first episode of I Am Redemption. You've been on 3. This was like your 4th appearance.
Yeah.
VIP.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get you a goat jersey and I'm gonna retire your jersey on the.
If there's a goat on it, I will absolutely.
I wore one last night. I got
love
you. I'm gonna
goats.
get you one.
Yeah.
What was your just to kind of give everybody a glimpse? What was your at one time in your life you had this amazing idea of how you were gonna kick dope? How was that?
I tried to get off of heroin by doing crack. It made a lot of sense at the time. It's just like when anyone who was an opiate addict or knows anything about opiates and has been through that cycle, you have to wait to like. So what I would do is I would try to detox. I wanted to be sober so bad, like half of me, but like the other half didn't, So I would try to detox myself frequently. And one of the times that I was trying to detox myself and I had to wait this 24 hours to be able to take some sub to like get to that point, I would always have to do something like in that time. I would still have to be getting high, but I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So I was like, oh, I don't like uppers. It's like, I don't like uppers. I'm a downer girl. I just really like, and I was like, crack would be a fire idea. And no, at the time, I felt like a doctor. I was like, this actually will work. And I will be fine, and I'm gonna be super sober, And which crack actually did get me sober down the line, not immediately. Yeah. And then the come down from crack was so hard that I got addicted to both at the same time. I didn't foresee that. That was not how my plan. It's not how it went. It wasn't supposed to go like that, but it did. But eventually, I was a very functional opiate addict, And so when crack did get me sober. Eventually, I was so fucking out of my mind. I went on like a 6-7 month all day, every day crack binge, and you can't be very functional. And I was going to work. It was a lot. It was a lot. But yeah, so crack is not. I wouldn't recommend that route. I wouldn't recommend smoking crack to get sober, but it made me desperate enough that I was finally willing to like actually get sober. So
That was the best.
Shout out
commercial.
to crack.
That was the best commercial for crack ever. That was so good.
Crack is whack.
That was better. That was better than Hunter Biden's interview when he did. What I love most about you is that you do not shy away from the embarrassing things. You lean into it. That's one thing you've always helped me with. So you put so much of yourself out there online. You're open, you're vulnerable, you're honest, you're authentic. What do you think is one thing that you wouldn't mind sharing that the rest of the world doesn't know about you?
Oh God, I think I've overshared pretty much everything in my life. I don't know. One thing that people don't know about me?
Something interesting.
God, that's
you
like
like to-
when
you
you're
like-
in like a meeting or you go to like a classroom and they're like, what do you like to tell us about yourself? I don't fucking know.
You like to cut your steak with a spoon. I don't know anything. You don't know how to swim.
I don't know. I'm good at baking. I'm good at baking.
Let's go. What's your favorite thing to bake?
I really like a good fucking cupcake, you know? Yeah. Are you talking about my carnivore cake?
No.
What would you say? I gotta commandeer this back. What's the hardest thing about social media?
I think how much time it takes away from like real life sometimes. Like when you work in social media, I'm very grateful to like social media is my full-time job. But over the years, and I think you know this at this point, how actually time consuming, and not just when you have your phone or a computer in your hand, like where your brain is just always constantly going, and being able to balance that, I would say that is the hardest thing about social media for sure.
It's fucking tough.
Yeah, it is.
Right, babe?
It is. Yeah.
My wife knows. Look, she's so mad she left.
Yeah.
Most valuable lesson that you've learned in your entire journey?
Most valuable lesson. I think that for me, and I'm consistently learning this lesson all the time, is that you can't grow in comfortability. Like you can't, which is really fucking rude, actually. Like when you think about it, that's actually rude. But I have to get like consistently push myself out of my comfort zone. If I want to do anything positive at all with my life. So.
So you got that butt, right?
I got it. Not yet. It's loading.
No, you got it. What do you mean? It's loading.
It's loading. I have it on layaway. It's fine. It's coming eventually.
I just want you to know that I fucking love you. I'm so thankful
love
for
you
our
so
friendship and
much.
everything you've done for me. Everybody,
love
please
you.
give it up for my homie Rachel.
I don't like that.
We got the house mom right here. You're the house mom of the group, aren't you?
Stage mom?
Stage mom.
Yeah. I like.
Do you
I
know
don't.
what a- do you know
I
what a
don't
house
film
mom is?
content unless I'm in theirs.
Do you know what
or
a
I'm,
house
like,
mom is?
awkwardly doing something. Yeah, I do know what a house mom
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Right. You keep everybody organized. You keep the chaos.
Organized? Yeah.
No, not that house mom. I don't. No.
Oh.
There you go. She knew. There you go. You keep a bunch of unruly people in order, right?
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
but no.
Okay, I'm sorry, I had it
no,
wrong.
when
I
it comes to the planning, that's what he means.
So up to this point,
You guys don't out me about the other
So
things.
up to this point, every time I talk to Jenna, she always reminds me that she's the one that keeps everybody organized. She's the one that keeps everybody on time. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
I got all the details because everyone constantly is asking. And when you have 9 girls trying to figure out what
Right.
time we got to be wearing, what are they going to ask, and and I'm like, I'll just ask him, you know? And then we have a shared note that Sarah started because Sarah is like a list girl, and it's a live note that all of us have access to, and so I like take it and like go and add it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, is
Stage
it-
mom though. Stage mom's
mom.
different.
All right, we'll take stage
Yeah.
mom. No disrespect. I didn't mean it.
It's fine. I don't feel disrespected.
So Jen is absolutely amazing. I went out. She was such a gracious host when we were out in California. So what is your favorite part about living out on the West Coast in Cali?
the sun, I'm going to sound so woo-woo and you're going to love it. The sun and the beach and the sand. And like I wake up every morning and open my slider and put my bare feet on the ground and raise my hand to the sun and soak in the energy. And I feel in my like inhale with gratitude. And like for me, I feel that through nature. And I live in a space where like that is granted to me.
And that's very true. Jenna's an amazing community builder. When I was out there, I was able to go out to the facility that she works out, and she's created an amazing group where it's a bonfire every Sunday night. They had like 200 people.
Thursday.
Right? Thursday night is what I meant. Thursday night they do this. They had like 200 people come out every single Thursday night up in the mountains, this beautiful view, stuff like that. So that's why I asked you the original question. And I just want you to know, like, I've spoken a lot of places. That's probably one of the coolest treatment centers meetings that you've built that I've ever spoken at. So please give Jenna a hand. She's not done. You're not done.
Thank you. I want to mention something that's really special is that first meeting that Gabby mentioned that she went to was that bonfire meeting. And it's like incredibly special that after that meeting, like Rachel and I got to go out to dinner with her, and she just sat there and like curiously asked us questions in this incredibly like curious, honest way, you know. And it was really special to be a part of that and know that like that was the meeting, that she sat there and something started to move inside of her that like was outside of her and outside of me, you know.
Love it. What does Jenna's darkest day look like when you were back at rock bottom?
So for me, rock bottom is not about the consequences that were like physical or materialistic, right? Like I too like had some arrests. The car was impounded and I chose to like pick up my bag instead of the car, right? I lost family, I lost relationships. I chose to isolate myself, all of it. Fired from jobs, like all of that, but that was not the rock bottom. For me, the rock bottom was being so deep in the mental warfare of my own mind and living life in a way of victimizing myself and using like true childhood trauma in a way that like I was weaponizing that trauma at you and at the world. And the weight of the pain that carried in my chest led to the mental warfare. And so what I'll tell you is that like the last time I took a drink and snorted a line and did like a lot of other things, nothing happened. And like meaning like my solution that I like had to cover up the pain and the weight of trauma and that mental warfare was no longer a solution. And I now had ingested all these things and had this moment of clarity that like I was seeking something outside of myself to fix an inside issue. And that was my true rock bottom, was like this moment of that battle with peace, that battle with like self-worth, like someone else mentioned, and like just this ultimate like emotional, spiritual like hole that I truly believed I could never get out of, and I no longer had a solution. And being alone in that.
How many years sober you got?
I have a sobriety date of May 26, 2014, and I have 11 and a half years.
Deep. So being that deep in the game of sobriety, I would have to imagine, I'm sure the 12 steps have played a fundamental role in you getting sober. But what have you continued to do after that to continue to build on, to further your recovery, further your life, your mental health, all those things?
I would say, like, to further my recovery continuously, I mean, number one is, like, what have I continued to do is not pick up no matter what. It's like that no matter what club, like, it's cliche, it's cringy, I know, but I'm in it, you know? And, like, that means, like, even when it gets painful, when it gets dark, like, that you don't pick up and you look for the tools outside of yourself. And that can look like leaning on other people. It can look like getting outside. It can look like doing the things that are uncomfortable when you don't want to. But in all of those situations, I have to show up knowing that, like, I actually know nothing. And I don't have the answer. And the humility that I can bring over and over and over again allows me to be in a space to grow. So, like, remaining teachable has been my number one thing to continue me on, like, a journey of growing.
So I want you to take a look around, look at your sisters. And I want you to go down the line and I want you to give me the first word that comes to mind.
Of each one?
Each one.
Oh. Y'all ready for this?
And don't try to be all like, don't try to be sweet about it either. I'm not telling you to
I
be
can
mean
be
about
sweet
it.
and real.
Be real.
Okay, eagles. Body. There's so many spinning right now in my head. Dude, but also like resilience. Okay. Dude, fart. This thing is just like a fart over here. Like straight farting. Humility. Oh. This girl is so fucking smart. Like, it blows my mind how intelligent you are. Kind. BJ is just like the sweetest, kindest soul. Dude. I'm just proud when I look at you. Like, truly so proud. Yeah. I know. I kept it cool. The only one I really shat on was Rachel, and that's fine. Because the reality is I wouldn't be here without her, so I got to talk a little shit. Like, that's how I'm here. Is that it? That's it. Yeah, while he was rapping, I was, like, really feeling the lyrics, like, honestly, like, rad. And I feel you, and it was, like, really clear of, like, the journey you've walked listening to your music. And I grabbed Rachel and gave her a hug and just said I wouldn't be here without you. Like, this, I'm so grateful.
You can, I Am Cricchi on everything, right? Google I Am Cricchi. You'll find I Am Cricchi. CRICCHI.
Okay, we'll find it. No problem.
DM me. I'll give you all the information. I got you. I'm telling you, his dude is great live. His music is absolutely fucking incredible.
Incredible. Yeah.
Only on I Am Redemption. Jenna, you're a good friend. Love you. Thank you for everything. Everyone, please give it up for Jenna.
Hello.
Where are you from?
Pittsburgh, baby. 412.
Let's fucking go.
We have that in common.
There's no other Steeler fans here? We got a couple.
Surely no Pirates fans.
It's a rough go.
It is.
I took a leap of faith. I went out to California. It was my first time out there. Was a little bit nervous going. Nothing went according to plan when I went out there. I got out there. I got off the plane. I went to go get my rental car. Quickly realized that my license had expired and I didn't have a license. Luckily, Rachel knew somebody. She was able to link some things up, and so when I went out there, it was during the fires. And so it was like things were not normal out there. Rachel was able to link me up with a great guy named Billy Jensen. He took me out there. Shout out, Billy, if you're watching this. So Billy drove me about 2 to 2.5 hours out where I did another podcast called The Hopeaholics. I was super excited to get on. And then they invited me to stay afterwards. And they told me, they're like, oh, yeah, we got Abley Fickley. Am I saying it right?
Fickley, yeah, you got it.
They got Abley Fickley speaking, and I was like, "All right, cool." I didn't know who she was at the time. That woman went up there and she delivered one of the most powerful speeches I've ever seen a woman deliver. Her story
very kind.
resonated, everything like that. It hit home, and so I was so excited to be out in California. Didn't know anybody like that, but I felt like I knew somebody from home. So shout out, Abby.
Thank you. That is very, very kind. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So what to you? Because you're a speaker, right?
Yeah, I love it.
What is it about speaking that you love so much?
So, I mean, I love it in general. I feel like it makes every hardship, everything that I've ever gone through worth something, like more than just getting through it, more than just surviving or making it to the other side. It adds this whole other layer. I mean, my entire life today, from my career to my friendships and everything, has been taking the worst things I've been through in my life and finding a way to utilize them for good. And so it's the same thing with speaking, but specifically, I enjoy speaking to high school students. So in Pittsburgh, as much as I can, I try to go into schools, and it's still a harder thing to do. A lot of them are still bringing the cops in. But every now and again, I get a good principal, or I got a home ec teacher one time who brought me in, and they have me tell my story. For example, one of the times I got an email back a few days later that after I spoke at a high school, a couple of the kids went to the guidance counselor and ended up admitting that there's some things going on in the home, like with their parents, or that they, experimented with something and are struggling from it. And there's a lot of different rewards I've experienced, but it's that age when I was a high schooler, I just felt very lost. My mom was studying. She went back to school at the time. My siblings were off to college, so I felt I was a loner. And I started struggling pretty bad at that time, and I just can't help but to wonder if there would have been somebody like me that I saw who grew up I grew up in a cul-de-sac. We had everything. I didn't grow up in some struggle. And then I created struggle for myself. Like, God put me on the playground, and I chose to go to the battlefield. And I feel like I've been there ever since, honestly. But, again, there's so much reward in it. There really is, So I enjoyed it in general, though. It helps keep me sober, too, of course. Giving back.
Outstanding. One of the things I remember you talking about when you were speaking was there was a point in your life where I believe your parents either allowed you to or had you put somewhere. Would you mind telling that story real quick?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty wild story. When I was initially struggling, so I had a daughter young. I got pregnant at 19. I had her at 20, and I really struggled with the fact that, I celebrated my 21st birthday, couldn't go out that night because I had a baby. And I just struggled with, the motherhood of it all with the age I was at, was diagnosed with postpartum depression, started kind of, mixing benzos and alcohol. And so eventually I wasn't physically dependent to anything yet, but I was wrecking cars. It was a chaotic mess. My kid deserved more, and my parents basically gave me the ultimatum to go to treatment or they would no longer be in my life. And that was the beginning of, honestly, my experience with the disease of addiction. I mean, it was a slow build, and I believe regardless of the details, it was going to manifest regardless. But in rehab is when things really went downhill for me. And so I ended up, relapsing quite a bit. And then it was really, really intense boundaries over a year later, closer to 2 years later, that got me sober in the long run by my parents themselves. Really, really intense boundaries that I could have ruined my life, and I thought were absolutely going to ruin my life. So
that was one of the things that when you spoke that day has always resonated with me, because I'll tell people one of the hardest parts of my journey or my story was when I landed in a prison cell, and there was a point where my mom had to stop picking up the phone.
Yep.
And my mom loves me more than anybody on this earth, and I know that. But that was the time where she finally drew that line in the sand, and she could no longer continue to co-sign this behavior and do that. And I remember being so bitter in that moment. But Mom, thank you. That's one of the most important things that's ever happened. I don't see my mom right now. There she is.
And I can't imagine how hard that was for her to do. So the strength that must take.
I've said it a million times. I've always thought I knew what I put my parents through until I saw the documentary, and then I heard their side of it, and then you start to realize, and then as you women, the mothers, to try to understand a mother, where your every single moral fiber in your body and being is to take care of this little person and to make sure they're good, and to have to draw that line in the sand. That's a decision I don't know that I could ever make. So
couldn't agree more.
Shout out to you moms out there.
No, truly. As I think of that often. I'm like, if I were in that position, I don't know how. But I'm always speaking about boundaries and how they save lives and change lives. But yeah, when you put yourself in that position as our parents, it does. It reiterates the strength it requires. And even for me, my dad did a lot of the act of setting the boundaries. It was another ultimatum. It was go to rehab or we're pressing charges. A year later, couldn't afford my habit, and my parents were helping me out, but they didn't know it. And it was go to rehab So anyway, I went to rehab immediately. I'm 28 days out. 28 days in, 2 days out from graduating. I'm really starting to feel good about it. I have a set up plan with sober living in Carrick. I'm about to get back out there, and I was finally feeling positive. It was the first time in treatment where nobody was calling me, nobody was sending me cigarettes, you know, those like little differences. But then they did mail call. This was right towards the end of my journey in this 30-day facility, and they called my name, and I said, nobody's sending me mail. They're like, nope, it's for you. And I opened this 3-page letter from my dad, typed, signed on the final page, and it was just 3 pages of disownment. You know, you're not the daughter we raised. They felt sorry for my daughter, that she had a mom like me. We cut you off of our health insurance. We moved all your furniture and belongings out of the house. We helped you rent. And then on the final page, it was, he said, and by the way, I decided to go through with the charges. And so just to kind of circle back to the beginning here, that was obviously one of the hardest experiences in my life, because facing 32 counts of forgery, identity theft, and theft by unlawful taking while I am like hardly a month sober, I mean, that's when my solution would have came in handy. And I didn't have that anymore. And for the first time, I was forced to be in a sober living with women I didn't know. And I was forced to listen to them until I started to see the results. And then I wanted more. I wanted to listen to them. But I had to be cornered. I really did. You know, whether that was my stubbornness, whether there was privilege to it all, I don't know. But the blind faith it required to wake up every single day and sit in that uncomfortability of my kid might not know who I am. You know, will she come visit? I mean, I couldn't process it. I was physically sick every day until I finally just was like, God, if you're real, if you're there, take this. I can't carry it. Whatever happens to me, I can't carry it anymore on a daily basis. Like, it was just too heavy that I finally just was able to let go of it in a way where I'm like, I got to just live my life anyways. And I did. And then I, you know, stayed sober. Over a little over a year sober, we finally went to court for it. And at that point, my dad, my parents saw progress they had never seen in me. And my dad hired a lawyer on my behalf, and he stood next to me and fought the charges because the state picked them up. So he stood next to me in court and helped me fight against the charges that he pressed. And my mom, who, you know, couldn't set boundaries like this, she knew that. So she sat back and she kept her mouth shut because she knew it needed to happen, right? But she didn't have the strength in the way my dad did. Her strength was a little more quiet. And I say to her sometimes, I don't give you enough credit, because she sat there and kept quiet, which had to take just as much strength and be just as hard for her. Yeah, it was pretty crazy stuff. We got it dropped down to something that I was able to pay my parents back in the form of restitution. I had a probation officer for a year, all this accountability that I needed. You know, I knew she could show up at any moment. She turned into what I would jokingly say is my second sponsor. She'd sit at the sober living. She's like, what's up? How's the kid? And all the people you meet along the way, too. You know? Like, I'll never forget her. But, yeah, so the faith that I have because of that, oh, my gosh, I've grown as a person more from that situation probably than anything else, you know? And it's not ironic that it was the hardest thing I went through. It adds up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Abby Fickley.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, truly.
Hello. Hi.
Fitness girl extraordinaire.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to talk to you.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself to everybody, if you would.
Hi. My name is Janine, and I've been sober for a little over 10 years. I got sober in January of 2015. And like Shawn said, so I've been in fitness for a long time, and in sobriety was able to open a studio. We sold it, but I still teach fitness and still work in that field.
Thank you. Were you in fitness before?
Yeah. So I actually got certified to teach spin. So if I like explain my addiction really kind of briefly, so 15 years of active addiction. The first 10 years was just like Coke and drinking and a little bit more manageable. The last 5 years, I was homeless, in and out of jail, got arrested 5 times. The last arrest was for strong arm robbery. Lived in a doghouse the last 3 nights of my use. And I got certified to teach spin during the Coke period. So, like, I taught spin. Yes, it is interesting. I heard somebody say that. Yeah. So I would teach, like, I would get sober for, I never got more than 90 days in the last, like, 5-year period. So I would start teaching somewhere, I could get a job, and then I would relapse. And so I would be like smoking meth in the parking lot and then teaching a fucking bar class at like high-end Pilates and bar studios, doing heroin and then teaching a spin class, which is insane. But
Gangster.
yes, yeah, well, yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
No, I can't breeze over it. I got to
Yeah.
get back to it.
Yeah.
You lived in a doghouse.
Yeah.
Please tell me about this.
Yeah. So I always say it was more like a little shed that his dog would sleep in, and it was my heroin dealer. He let the dog go inside and let me stay in the shed for 3 nights. And he didn't know it was going to be 3 nights. For all he knew, it'd be forever. Like, I could just live there. But he would padlock me in at night from the outside so that no one could get in, which I feel like I need to say. Because then people are like, were you trafficked? And I'm like, no, it was voluntary. I was voluntarily in there. He would padlock it at night, and I lived there for 3 nights. And that was my last active use. I brought some dope with me to a friend's house to kick. But that was my last, like, living out on the streets, homeless using period.
Isn't it funny how our brain works? I took some heroin with me to my friend's house to kick.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Trust me, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. But I left, right? Like,
Right.
I had the dope and I left anyway. Like, that I could have kept using in that doghouse, you know?
How would you say fitness impacts your life? Now, I know it may be different for you because you do it as a job.
Right.
So I know it changes it a little bit, but truly, like, what do you think it's done for your mental health? Like, what does it do for your life?
I mean, even though it is my job, it's still like the love of my life is teaching spin and teaching fitness. And like earlier, you were asking about a moment of redemption, and mine came through this studio. So like anytime I would get sober, I would teach again, and like I could get a good job because I taught at the Beverly Hills Country Club and I taught at all these nice places before everything fell apart. And so I would get jobs again, and then I would lose them. And while I was still using, I would go online and see people that were hiring fitness instructors. And like the thing that I was the most sad about, more than like family, more than anything, was that I would maybe never teach again, you know? And like my love for teaching got stronger during that period. And when I came back, I was at this studio that I was like taking the bus to. It was like an hour and a half each way from a sober living down to this like really bougie place. And I'd been teaching there for like a month maybe. And the owner of the studio, they'd just given me like a noon class, and it sold out, which was unusual. And I remember right before I was like, and I would hide that I was taking the bus. I would like go back behind like the Jack in the Box. I didn't want anybody to see that I was like taking the bus. And before I left, she was like, wow, you're the star of the studio. And she was like this bougie girl. And I just said, okay. And I walked out and like ducked behind the Jack in the Box. And I walked up to the bus stop and literally hit my knees and just started like sobbing, crying. Like, it was like I never thought that I would be able to do it again. And when I was able to teach again, because like that had been my voice for a long time, you know? And so when I was able to do that again, I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I've told the story so many times. But so like when I was able to do that again, I found myself physically, right? Like you were saying, you know, it brought me back to life physically. Like I had to audition with like 3 weeks fucking off of heroin, you know? It brought me back to life physically, but also it brought back so much confidence for me, specifically the instruction, because I was, for the first time in a long time, able to be of service to other people in the community, right? Like after being someone that had taken from everybody around me for so long, after classes, people would say like, I loved your playlist, I loved your class, and it just built my confidence. And so like the mental health aspect of it has probably even been stronger for me than anything else. But I mean, it's everything to me. And like you started to say too, when we could do hard things in the gym, we can do hard things outside of the gym as well, which has like always been my philosophy, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm kind of having a moment over here right now because I can guarantee you pretty much every question that I've asked any of these wonderful women, they've heard before. They've all been on podcasts before. They've all done this before. But I've been able to watch some of you guys tell some stories that you guys have told many times. And you guys have gotten so vulnerable where you guys have started to tear up, much like I have. And so I'm just having a moment right now because I'm so fucking proud that I'm able to have a show and able to create an environment with some people, especially a man sitting here talking to 9 women. that are willing to sit there and get that vulnerable with me. I'm so fucking proud of that right
Oh,
now.
thank
So
you, Shawn.
ladies, thank you.
Thank you. You created it. Remember I said in the beginning, I said there is so much substance in here.
Well, and the reason too, I think I get emotional when I talk about the studio. I want to add this because I don't add this as much as I should. I ended up owning that studio at 4 years. So I started with 19 days sober, no ID, no ability to get a bank account, nothing. And at the 4-year mark, I was able to buy it. Like I owned that gym. That's the gym that I owned. And so it just, when I think about those early days, I never would have thought that anything like that was possible, ever. And I signed the lease with horrible credit. Like all of the things that we think aren't possible based on our past, all of those timelines and all of the logic that we think we have as like human beings, that logic doesn't like apply anymore. And we start getting to walk this like miraculous timeline where a client offered to co-sign the lease. You know what I mean? Like miracles start to happen, which is also why I get emotional, I think, when I talk about the studio, But
Give her a hand, please. You're not done, but please give her a hand. First of all, I want to say, I hope that you have a big speaking event coming up, or that you have one coming up in Texas, because I know you're a speaker too, because I would love to come see you in person.
Thank you.
Because just as you're sitting there saying that, I can tell and I know that you're an amazing speaker.
Thank
so
you.
Please let me know when it is.
Thank you.
That's right. I congratulated her on her TED Talk.
Isn't that crazy? As a
Wild.
direct result of being a homeless heroin addict, I got to do a TED Talk. And that's like, not to preempt your question, like the lesson that you learned, like every traumatic thing that happens to us can become our biggest asset and advantage in life, right? Like everything, not even just the getting through it. I mean, like the actual challenges that happen, I believe, leave us better off, which is what my TED Talk was about. Like I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing about my story,
Austin Marathon interviewed me, and they asked me what I would go back and tell my younger self. First interview that I had ever done, and that was the exact answer I gave him, is I wouldn't change a thing, because everything I've been through has built me who I am today, and I wouldn't change it for anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody, please give it up for Janine. Now, real quick, I'm so excited to talk to Britt, but I'm going to ask her to pass the mic back to Abby, because Abby was saying something really nice about me, and I want to hear what she was going to say.
And I'm sorry, I'm the worst. So even before, the music started, you up here speaking, you could defend us. You could get probably 3 people and 2 cats out of a burning house. Like, you work out all the time. But to see you stand up here and be so vulnerable and emotional, I was talking about it back there. It reiterates strength, and it reiterates how strong you are. It has nothing to do with the physical. In fact, there's so many men that act so strong, and really it's ego and pride. It is so evident that and then it continued. It was consistent with who you brought up here, who you introduced, who we got to meet. And I said, there is so much substance in this room. And so it's not about the number. It's not about, I don't know. To me, substance is everything, and you feel it. And I felt it from the moment that I walked in here. And coming from men, and again, I believe it's, part of it is a lot of what you guys have gone through. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to know that, because it's impressive. It really is.
That means the world to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind of people that we want to be around. We're proud to be we're proud to know you and to get to be your friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
100th episode. Let's fucking go. Britt, you are one of my favorites. I'm going to be honest. Any woman that is this passionate about her fucking football team is my people.
Go Birds, bitch.
If you guys follow along on social media, I had reached out and graciously asked them if they would be so kind to send me a quick video or something like that. And as soon as I got Britt's back of her screaming, "Go Birds," I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect.
I had to stick with the theme, you know what I mean? It's on brand.
Ride or die.
Yeah.
The important thing is that you're still wearing that jersey when you guys ever go back to being an Owen whatever team.
I've been an Eagles fan since I was a little baby. It's never leaving. Sorry.
I respect it. My
I do like
stepfather
the Steelers,
raised me right.
Steagles. I was talking to your dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for raising me right. So, obviously, addiction's part of your story, but you have another very important part of your story, right? And
You're gonna make me cry.
well, I think it's very important, especially in this setting. But you have an incredible child, and I know at times it can't be easy. And so I know just from what I put my mom through, if you'd be willing to share a little bit about what that experience has been like, and how you're able to sit there and be strong and show up like mom every single day.
Oh God. I'm sorry. It's emotional because being here and watching Kayleigh and what you're doing for her. As a mom of an autistic son, the special needs community does not get this type of support a lot of the time. And genuinely, like, you can see it. And so just to be a part of this weekend in the smallest way is incredible to me. Like, it is hard some days. I wouldn't change it for the world. My son is amazing. He's incredible. He's the funniest freaking little kid that I've ever met in my life. He's hilarious. He's also an Eagles fan, and he will say go fucking Birds. He's the best. And Dallas sucks. I'm sorry. I know we're in Texas. Don't hate me.
Nobody in Texas likes the Cowboys right now anyways.
That's actually facts right now. Yeah, but like, being sober is the reason that I get to show up for him and advocate for him the way that I do. And like, just being a part of something, like, we're involved with the Eagles Autism Foundation, which is a foundation that raises money to create sensory inclusive spaces for kids like my son so that they can enjoy football. And we were just invited by them. I'll cry. They gifted us 4 tickets to the Eagles-Cowboys game, home opener, and we were on the field and watching my son dance with Swoop on the 50-yard line at the link. And Swoop was wearing headphones, and my son was wearing headphones, and just like taking all of that in and being able to be present for every single moment of that, like, it's a privilege. That's a privilege. And it's a privilege that sobriety has given me.
That's fucking beautiful. Thank you. You know, when I was thinking about doing the 100th episode and doing the event and all that stuff, of course you could sit there and think about, like, anything I do, I want to do for a good cause. I don't ever want it to be about me. And so I could have done something where I tried to raise money and tried to scholarship somebody to treatment or something like that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest. I've had enough chances. I've fucked up all my chances. I've had my choices. And that's most of our cases. But there's some people in this world that didn't have a choice, didn't have a chance. And to me, this whole social media thing, you know, it's been a ride. It's been cool and all that. But to me, if you're somebody in this world that you are blessed and you have a big social media following, and you're not using that to actually fucking help people, and you're only doing it for self-serving reasons, you're just not somebody in the world that I could fuck with. So
I agree.
That is why I do it, for sure. What would you say is the thing you're most proud of when it comes to your son?
In terms of him or in terms of me as a mom?
Whichever one comes first to your mind.
In terms of him, just the resilience that he has. Like, this past week, we were doing some homework, and these girls have all heard this story. He was getting frustrated writing his letters because he's starting to notice that he isn't exactly like his typical peers. And he was writing his letters, and he was getting frustrated, and he looked at me, and he said, I don't write my letters straight. Mine are crooked. All my friends are straight. And he was struggling to write, and he did it anyway. And, like, that's what Kayleigh does. She does it anyway, right? People count her out. People count my son out. They do it anyway. They show up fucking scared. They do it anyway. And I think that that is so fucking powerful, and I've learned so much from him as a human. Just, like, I can do anything I want, and so can he, with the right support. And I think it ties into addiction and recovery. Like, we needed a sober living, a rehab, a mom. For me, it was a dad that was willing to try to press charges for stealing. Like, all of these things, right? We needed those things to propel us forward. My son can do anything he puts his mind to. He just needs the right support behind him. And because I'm sober, I get to show up and be that support. And I think that's like, for both of us, really is the most important thing, you know?
Awesome. This might be a tough question, but like anybody who's listening to this, anybody who's watching that, right? Anybody, because what we talk about is always like staying out of self, wanting to go help people, right? What is something that I could do? What is something that we could do or anybody could do to help support that community more?
Presume competence. And I think I had this conversation with Janine last night. Presume competence. Don't talk to them like they're babies. Don't act like they can't do things. They can, and they're gonna prove you fucking wrong. Treat them like a human being. Like, for example, my son, in our involvement with the Eagles Autism, he's had the privilege of building a little bit of a friendship with Kayleigh Kelsey. And when I watch her speak to him, the way that she speaks to him is like he's any other. It's like she's speaking to me. She doesn't treat him any differently. And I wish that every human on this planet did that. Because the stares, the laughs, the giggles, all these things that happen, we see it. I see it. It hurts, right? It's hurtful to watch your child be looked at in a certain light. Just treat them like they're fucking human beings, because they are. And they're probably cooler than you.
You're not lying. You're not lying. So through your whole addiction, alcoholism, everything that you had, what would you say is your redemption moment? That one moment where you were able to look around as a wife, a mother, a woman, a human being, and be like, you know what, I fucking did it.
It was that moment on the field, because those 4 tickets, it was myself, my son, my fiance Dan, and my sister Brianna. And Brianna didn't speak to me for the first 3 years of my recovery. She cut me off. She didn't want anything to do with me. I called her to tell her that I was pregnant with Billy. She hung up on me. I tried to send her money back that I had stolen from her. She sent it back. She was like, absolutely not. And that night, that game on that field, she sat back and had her phone out and recorded the entire interaction so that I was able to be present. And she gave me that gift, right? Something I didn't even think she would ever speak to me again, let alone stand shoulder to shoulder with me. And when she saw me crying, like, put her hand out to make sure that I was okay, you know? And that for me is redemption, because we get these relationships back that we lost. We destroyed. We did something, or maybe a lot of things in my case, right? But like, we destroy these relationships and we're able to build them back in recovery. And that is the definition of redemption.
Everybody, let's give it up for Britt, please. Now, I had mentioned a little bit earlier about when I spoke in the prison, and it's cool. One thing my wife always does, to her credit, is anytime I go out and I have a speaking gig and I come back, she always asks me how it went. And one of the ways I judge my speaking on is the emotion that I'm kind of able to get out of the audience, right? And I know if I'm able to get people to laugh and I'm able to get people to cry or whatever like that, when you start understanding that just through you speaking that you're able to provoke these emotions out of people, you realize not everybody can do that. And so when I'm able to come back and she's like, how did it go? And I'm like, it was good. I had them laughing. There was like 4 or 5 people that they were crying in there. And the one time she was like, why do you love making people cry? And so when I spoke at the prison, it was very interesting, because sometimes when I go out, they'll show the documentary, and inevitably at some point usually people will get emotional. And then when I speak, the same thing was happening. And so now I'm walking into a prison. Throughout the day, I would end up speaking to 2,300 inmates. Wasn't sure what I was going to get. And one of the coolest fucking things is the biggest one that I walked into, the biggest and most secure unit, the one with the highest level of criminals, all that. You walk in, and if anybody's done any time in here, you walk into prison, you are not going to see emotion out of anybody. You show emotion there, it's weakness. Everybody is stone-faced. Everybody's gangster. Everybody's tough guy, all that stuff. And one of the most powerful things for me was to walk into a room like that and to literally watch as I spoke and watch that room turn. And I watched people soften up, and I watched people start to lean in, and I watched people have to put their head down because they don't want other people to see them get emotional. And then I watch all that go out the window as people are coming up to me sobbing afterwards, talking about how much it resonates. Or When a man looks you in the eye and he's a young kid and he sits there and he's saying, I want to change my life, but I still have 30 years on my sentence I have to do. And to try to answer that question for that man, but to know, if you told me I'm going away to prison for 30 years, that sounds like a death sentence. And so the fact that I know that I'm able to go in there and get him to at least start thinking about, if with all that time, to be able to start changing his life or what he could do inside of there, to start that is powerful. And so I'm telling you guys and anybody else up here that's a speaker, all it took, literally all I've done was just be willing to share the multiple things that I've been through. And I'm telling you, when you first started, you would think everybody's going to judge you. All these problems that every one of these powerful women has sit there and talked about, I promise you, social media, any of that stuff, every single thing that you think you're going through, I promise you, it is not just, you're not the only one. And it's when you start talking about that and understanding that there's so much power in all the pain that you've been through, that's what helps start changing other people's lives, when you start being willing to open up and share that. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up for questions to the audience. If you have a question, I'd like you to please raise your hand. We are going to go to that mic stand over there, right? Or are we just going to put a mic up there? Or I'm going to go over there. If anybody has a question, I'd like to please invite you to come up. Not everybody at once. Oh, there we go. Good idea. Good idea. If you guys have any questions for any of the lovely ladies up here on this stage, now is your time.
I low-key got a serious and super, you know how vulnerable this is about to be. So a bunch of women sitting on stage. So I been sober like 6.5 years, moved to Texas. My mom still lived in Maryland in the house where she had found me overdosed multiple times. Her house got shot up from me robbing drug dealers. Just like a bunch of traumatic shit that I put my mom through. And so I was like, Mom, like, I'm doing good. Like, I'm going to move you out here to Texas and just, like, move in my house and, like, you know, maybe cook a meal from time to time. But other than that, you don't really got to do nothing. And so she moved out here with me. And, you know, a lot of her drinking before moving out here, I knew she was kind of like a functioning alcoholic. But since she's moved out here, it's almost like it's gotten worse. It's almost like what I thought would be the solution to bring my mom, man, and it just hurts, right? Yeah. So I don't really know what to do. No, it's all good. It happens.
Jenna is definitely the one.
Hi. I'm an adult child of an alcoholic mother. I think the best thing you can do is exactly what you're doing, of being an example of recovery, right? Yeah. Because you and I both know that, like, you weren't going to stop drinking or using until you were going to stop drinking or using, right? And the reality is that there are things like being an example. There are things like boundaries as well, like some people up here have mentioned. Yeah. And I think that if it's getting to a point where you find that it's harmful,
it's harmful to my kids.
Okay, right. I'm also a mother, right? For me, in my situation currently, you know, and obviously they're different, but like my mother can't be around my children, right? I'm not suggesting that that's what needs to happen. I don't know enough about it, but I would suggest taking a look at the dysfunction that her drinking is bringing to you, your children, and your home, and evaluate that and seek some suggestion from people that have been through that, while continuing to be an example to her.
Thank you.
And if you want to chat after the show, I'd love to.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that. Thank you so much.
Father John's in the house.
Ladies, how you doing? So my question is, how do you guys deal with all the negative stuff from social media and keep that under control?
Yeah, I think we have some different. Over on that side.
Okay, so I love getting hated on social media. And I feel like everybody in our group might have a different opinion about this, but I've been trying to like push my perspective on them so that they can like understand a little bit more. So when you're on social media, I feel like the more people are talking about you and criticizing you and like dissecting every little thing that you're doing, that's the more relevant that you are and you're becoming. Like, so I get nervous when people aren't talking about me. I'm like, why aren't people talking? Like, I need to do something to get a reaction out of people. And that's like a weird mindset for me, but I love it. Like, I feel like, they hate us because they ain't us. And I don't know. I have a crazy perspective on that, but I genuinely think that when people are hating on you, you're doing something right. That's just how I view it.
Fucking right.
I was gonna say on the complete opposite spectrum, I have legit been suicidal over the hate on the internet. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna cry about this, but yeah, that was a couple years ago, and it is very, very hard, and I see it happening to obviously some other close girlfriends here, and it's really, really hard. But you have to stay. Like for me, I used to be a huge people pleaser, and that was something I had to let go of, And okay, some people don't like me, but the people who live in my home, the people I share walls with, the friends who are in my close circle, like that's who matters most. And as long as you are good with them, like other people's opinions, they're gonna say whatever they're gonna say. But and just staying true to yourself is so much more important. Like, I know I could have a lot more people like me if I just didn't say this or just did this differently, but what matters is how I feel about myself. And yeah, so I don't know where I'm really going with that, but.
Well, I'm just going to speak from my perspective. I follow every one of you women, and there's never been one thing that you guys have ever posted that deserved hated on. So anybody that's hating on you, fuck them.
And one more thing is, I didn't realize this is not my full-time job. I told you guys already, I'm a lawyer. But once I started hanging with these girls, I started seeing the stuff people said about them, and 99.9% of it is not true. They will make up outlandish things. One person will see it, and they'll run with it, and you'll see hundreds of comments about this and that. And I want to get in the comments and fist fight people, because these are my girls. And they've had to tell me, like, Sarah, just shut up. You're just making it worse. So that's been a big lesson for me.
Awesome.
Hello. Hi. So for starters, I'm kind of shivering. There's a lot of energy going on in this room right now, so pardon me if my jaw is chattering. For me, I don't have a sober date. It's been a process. It's been a long process. And I'm learning how to navigate it. I'm learning how to navigate my emotions and all the feelings and feeling all the feels with sobriety. I guess my question is, and what I've noticed lately is that I'm able to observe certain situations, and I still have the tendency to want to mask when I am uncomfortable. I still know whether it's like, I don't even vape anymore, but whether it's like, oh, let me have a vape or whatever the fuck it is. Like, it's just like, which is why I work out as much as I do. But I can't fucking work out all day, every day, So it's like, is there ever a time where that goes away, where the wanting to mask, and I meditate every day, I read every day, I get in touch with nature every day, but I'm also going through a lot in the moment, which I'm sure a lot of people are, but it's like there is still this part of me that is fighting every single day to want to mask this shit, and it's a fucking fight. That's my question. Sorry for cursing.
Can I say 2 words? Help people. That's what I do. That's what keeps me out of all that. It's helping people.
Right.
As long as I keep my sights on helping people, my life is fucking amazing. So
Right.
I'm never going to stop doing it.
Right.
That's kind of where I was going to go with it.
Sorry.
Get out of yourself. Get out of yourself. Because I can sit up on this stage and think about what every single person in this room is thinking about, what I'm wearing, what I'm saying, how my makeup looks. Like, I could go on, but I'm here for a bigger purpose. I'm here to share a message that through God, right? Through whatever your higher power is, nature for some of us, right? Like, get out of yourself. Stop thinking about yourself. Thinking about someone that you can help.
Mm-hmm.
Call someone. Ask them how their day is.
Yeah.
And don't talk about yours. Don't
Right.
talk about anything that's going on in your life. How are you doing? What are you doing today? How can I help you? And just try to be useful to other people. I think being useful to others is the biggest tool that we have, because not only is it helping people, but it's also helping us. right? And it serves two purposes at the same time. And I think it's so powerful to just what you're doing, like with all this, like helping other people. It's just like the human connection and getting outside of yourself. For me, it always helps to just ask somebody else how they're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to say one other thing about this too, because everything about helping people and redirecting your thinking. But I also want to like pause and say, what if you just considered? What if you didn't have to mask it?
Okay.
Right? What if you weren't constantly seeking a mask and instead found, even if it's just one other person that you could be so honest with to say, I feel insecure, I'm scared, I'm angry, I'm in pain. And what if you didn't have to mask it and instead you owned it? Right?
Right.
Because in order to help all these other people and redirect your thinking, you're going to have to start owning that.
Right.
And then it takes the power away. Because when you're trying to mask it, you're trying to control some kind of outcome, whether it's like other people said, what other people are thinking of you, how you're going to show up in a situation, right? But like the thing about like fear and faith is that like if you put things in faith and own where you're at and who you are, right? You're on the opposite side of fear, but you're walking into it like Amanda said, like there's nothing we do without being scared, but you walk through that with faith of just like, this is who I am. Something else has got this.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, it's none of my business what other people think of us, right? But like you own it, because if you're going to heal from it, you got to start owning it. You can't hide it, run from it, push it down anymore.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then you can use your pain to purpose to help others.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
Can I ask a mom question?
Absolutely.
So, what would be the best advice you would give to the parent of someone who's an addict? Because one of the things that I always asked that I could never really get an answer to was, at what point do you stop enabling and hope that they come through it? I mean, I think there's a lot of different situations. I think there's probably more than one right answer, and depending on the situation. But I think the moment it starts affecting you and the other people around you, right? And I think sometimes that process alone is hard to accept and acknowledge, and we'll just that's our job to sacrifice as moms. I will go through whatever hell I have to every day for the rest of my life if it means my kid will be okay, but then kind of reframing that and understanding that if I want to be that supportive, incredible mom that loves, we love our children so much, we have to be well. And the moment something that they are doing is causing us to be unwell, or our relationship with our marriage, our partner to be unwell, the other kids, but it doesn't make it any easier. And I just envision what that would be like. I don't know, but just as a mom, and I can't even comprehend it. So the strength, and it's also just a really good question. I think a lot more people go through it than we know. Yeah, it is.
Incredible answer.
I have something to add to it, and I think it's similar for all of us in recovery. Like, we've all had to cut off friends, I feel, that end up going back out and using, and I think it's exactly what you said. Like, you have to make a decision for you and what feels good for you. Like, I've had to cut off friends, and they end up dying.
That was my biggest worry.
There's a level of guilt, right? But no matter what you do, no matter what anyone does, we're drug addicts. We're going to use drugs. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what you do. That's our decision and our disease, and that's something that we need to work through. They say no human power. You can't save him or us. Or my mom can't save me. Your mom can't save you. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And you can play a part in someone's story, but just because you did it a certain way doesn't mean, like, if something bad happens, it was your fault. Do you get what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I think it's important for all of us in this room to acknowledge that, like, you can't save another drug addict. You can help them when they're ready, but you can't save them.
Yeah, nothing we say. And I'll have people reach out to me too, and they'll kind of be at that point where they're like, I could either enable them and I'm going to bury them, or I could cut them off today and I'm going to bury them. And, you know, what do you say to somebody in a moment like that? And just over time and through experiences and talking with a lot of people and trying to just support, I've always said this, knowing that we cannot control the outcome either way. You'd have to do, if God forbid, you know, we do lose them too soon. You don't ever sleep the same at night. You don't ever sleep the same as you used to again, but it's like whatever you feel in your heart, you did every single thing that you could, because, you know, whether you're housing somebody because they've nowhere to live because they're homeless, or you're actively setting a boundary, you are still you know, I think that the cutting off thing, that feels so like harmful, and it, you know, but it really is, it's the equivalent to any other way that we as parents would support somebody. And so it's just kind of like knowing in your heart whether that was setting a really firm boundary because they were dying and we gave them easier access to keep harming themselves, or we drove them to treatment, knowing in our hearts, God forbid we lose them, that we did everything, you know, that we could up until the point of harming ourselves.
Yeah, it goes against every instinct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mother
At the end of the day.
Do what you live. Yeah.
Do what you can live with. Yeah. But it's. And I would just say, you know, reach out to the parents. If you have an opportunity on social media, speak that kind of thing, because that's nothing I ever heard.
I appreciate hearing that. I do. Because I like talking about boundaries a lot. It brings, I mean, some of the conversations you'll see in the comments and people going at it, just about, do you help? Do you cut off? And, you know, every situation's different and nobody really knows, but.
It's the hardest question I get as a speaker.
It is. We don't have the right answer, and that's the truth, right?
I do think Al-Anon is a very helpful resource. That would be my first recommendation, because the people at Al-Anon will help you decide where your boundaries lie, and then you're with other parents who feel the same way. That's like my first, that's like my first go-to.
I think every parent, though, seems like they feel like they're on an island by themselves.
Exactly.
You know? And there's no book.
Right.
You know, there's no manual to this as a parent.
Yeah.
And so any advice that you can ever give parents would be very, very useful.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you.
Experience in a video. Sharing our experience in a video. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom. All right, we got time for one more.
Hi, I'm Pamela. I have a question on. So me and my husband, I'm sober 2 years. I'm 24. I got sober at 22 after my daughter passed away. And I guess me and my husband, he's active duty, so we just PCS'd here to Fort Hood. And my question is now I really don't tell people I'm sober. To me, it's like an everyday thing that I don't think about it anymore. But I don't explain it to people anymore because I guess like everyone saw me get sober in El Paso, so like it was easier to like, oh, like you saw it, like, you know, I'm sober, so I don't have to explain it. But now I feel like I have to explain it all over again, and I'm struggling to get out of my bubble to make friends here now because I feel like I have to explain that part of me. So I don't know.
Because you're military, can I say
Yeah.
something? So have you've seen the movie 8 Mile
No.
with Eminem? Man, I feel old.
I get it.
I know you're gonna. I hope. We're drug addicts. We've seen that movie. So there's a movie called 8 Mile, right? Eminem's in it. It's kind of like Eminem's story. And one of the scenes that takes place, spoiler alert, I'm sorry I'm going to ruin the movie for you right now, but it's very pertinent information. What Eminem does in the very final scene is he's going up for a rap battle. And basically in a rap battle, you're talking shit to each other and you're trying to basically humiliate the other one for the crowd's pleasing. And what Eminem did was basically go up and shared all of his stuff. He said everything that the dude was going to use to make fun of him. And then it goes to be his turn, and the dude just stands there with the microphone. He has nothing left to say because he's already used all the ammunition. And that was like a major learning lesson for me when I got sober, where it was like, man, if I'm vulnerable and I'm just willing to be open and up and share it, number one, that judgment that I think I'm going to get, if anybody's going to fucking judge me for my past, they don't belong in my life. Because you know what? I have some of the most badass fucking friends in the world right now that I wouldn't change for anything, that I know fucking love me for who I am and all my other faults. So if I'm in fear of that judgment and I do it and they deserve to walk away, I didn't want you here anyways. But me being willing to open up and be vulnerable and talk about these things takes all the power away. Because you know what? One of the most powerful things that's ever happened to me in life is when the very first thing that this gentleman over here, Mr. Andrew Shubay, filmed with our documentary was the sizzle reel. And Andrew had set up for us to go be able to show this sizzle reel to 200 Austin runners. And so I was so excited by it. All these runners are going to come in. And then right when we were about to do it, the lights go off. And within 3 minutes, they watch the sizzle reel, which is like the trailer, and all of a sudden they hear my deepest, darkest things. 4-time felon, heroin addict, kicked out of the military, homeless, you name it. And then the lights went back on. And the only feeling that I can describe to you is it was like my mom pushed me out the front door for my first day of school naked and then slammed the door. Because I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, what are these people going to think of me? They're not going to like me anymore. They're not going to do this. And these are all like regular ass running people. They're not like recovery people either. And I remember saying a couple words on the mic, and I turned around and I went to go set the microphone down, and I turned back around and 200 fucking people converged on me and started coming off of things like childhood trauma, being molested, suicide in their family, mental health, substance abuse, their brothers, sisters, cousins, uncle did this, did that, did that. And that's when I started realizing how much power is in all this pain that we've been through once we start using it to help other people. So once I start talking about it, now I live in a world where I'm so fucking proud to sit here, to record a podcast, to tell people on social media, to talk about publicly that I'm a fucking heroin addict, and look what I've fucking done with it. I went out and ran 100 fucking miles and they made a movie about that shit. I'm a fucking heroin addict and I'm fucking proud. So be proud of who you are. Every single thing that you've been through has built who you are today, and don't change that for anybody.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
So when I decided to go to law school, I decided I'm not going to share on social media. I made my Facebook private. I told all my friends, don't tag me. Like, I didn't know how competitive it was going to be. I didn't know. I thought people were going to look at me and be like, oh, you're a drug addict? You can't be a lawyer? Oh, you're a felon? So a year after that, I went to law school in 2019. In 2020 is when my daughter moved in. And so then I had to explain how I randomly had this child. And I was like, you know what? Here we are. Fuck it. I'm just going to start telling the truth again. And I had for years before that. Every single person I've encountered from then until now, law school friends, law school professors, lawyers, people I work for, have all been the same story. Oh my God, that's so amazing. I'm so proud of you. This is what I've been through. This is what I heard. This is what I know. I've never had someone, I had all that worked up in my head all that time that people were going to think negatively of me or whatever, when in reality they're like, holy shit, you're a heroin addict lawyer with half an ass cheek. Like, what? That's crazy. Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to say one thing too. In all of that, find your tribe. Okay, like if you're in a new place and you are around people where you feel nervous or you feel the need to explain, because like Shawn said, you don't need to explain anything. Yeah. The difference is like looking at changing your perspective of like, I get to share my story. And if you're around people who don't see it as that, then those aren't your people, right? And if you need a tribe and you live here locally, like talk with Shawn, come talk to us. We can help you find a group of like people in recovery that are your people. Like get in the middle and then use your voice and share your story. Thank you. Yeah.
There's an amazing group. It's called the Sober Girls Group Chat. You should get in that shit.
Yes, we do have a group online. We would love you to join.
Yeah. She's in it.
Oh, you in it?
Originally, I met Brittany after my daughter passed away. I was trying to get sober, and I kept relapsing probably like 4 times, and I didn't want to come back to that group, but they both told me to come back, and I came back, and then June 17th of 2023, I got sober.
Hey, can I tell you something? I always feel like there's a bigger reason for things happening. And I truly, like, after you getting up and doing that, this whole show happened today because of you. You were the exact person that's supposed to be standing here right now, and you're the exact person that's supposed to answer that question. So,
Thank you.
fucking proud of you.
Thank you.
Now, we got to wrap up. I promised them we'd be out by 3, but first of all, I want to say, I Am Redemption, 100 motherfucking episodes. I don't care what anybody says. I got the coolest fucking 100th episode that there is in the world. Ladies, thank you so fucking much. I'm so proud of y'all. I love you guys. Thank you.